Nice. I'll let you host this one.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a fantastic episode of Fake Philosophers.
Well, we think it's fantastic. It will be fantastic.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
All right. The name of the game is shorter episodes.
Yes. Last few have been an hour and a half.
I asked both our listeners what they thought of the show, and one of the common themes is they're hour and a half long episodes. I mean, we're trying here, but
It's great, but I check out by 45.
yeah. So okay, we're trying, everybody, but thank you for the comments. Pretty good.
Yeah.
How you doing, Mike?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well.
Great. Eddie couldn't make it today. He's in I think he's in Argentina. Helping build a church.
Getting roofied
At the church. By a African American older woman.
That was so weird. Anyway, it was a good story. Go back and listen to it if you haven't.
It is actually.
Our travels episode was pretty funny.
2 episodes ago. It's you don't have to wait till minute 45. He fires right into it.
Yeah, I usually I'll skim through most of our episodes because I hate listening to myself. Mm-hmm. But I went back and listened to that one because I was like, wait, did I really hear that story? And then I went back and listened to it.
Was this a fever dream? Or
Mostly watching myself listening to that story because my reactions were pretty genuine.
What I love about Eddie is...
our next segment.
No, I have two friends that I say this about. Eddie and then my friend DJ. I'm not sure if you've met DJ. I think you may have.
May have.
Improv comedian, lazy eye.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
He's secure about his lazy eye. I can make fun of his lazy eye.
I know. I just felt bad. That's how I.
So with DJ and Eddie, what I could say is, if they tell me something happened, there's no reason why I have to disbelieve them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Like if Eddie said, "Hey, I went skydiving last week, and while in the air, I ran into fucking Tyra Banks, who was also skydiving, and she let me touch her tit." In my head, I'd be like, if he doesn't say "just kidding,"
yeah,
I believe this happened.
100% true.
Yeah.
And he'll show you pictures if you challenge him.
He will show you.
So
anyway,
but yeah, as you can see from the nice pattern on my Miller Lite pint can, all the Christmas stuff. That's
it's Christmas, Merry Christmas.
It's easy to say that it's Halloween coming up. So yeah, Halloween's
today
coming up.
is Halloween.
It'll be today is
Halloween.
Yeah. Yes, and it's very fun.
Mm-hmm. But so first, some topical events, recent events, topical conversations.
Oh,
however you want to say it.
I mean, speaking of your friends and my friends and theater people just in general, one thing that's kind of rocked the entertainment world lately is our good friend and TV's Alec Baldwin decided to go shoot some people.
Yes.
Okay. True story. Filming a Western down in New Mexico. They were shooting a scene where Alec Baldwin's character pulled a gun out and fired in the direction of the camera. Unbeknownst to apparently everyone, the gun was loaded with a real round and went through the cinematographer and embedded into the shoulder of the director. Cinematographer died, tragically, and the director was in the hospital, and I think he's going to be okay.
I think he recovered,
yeah. There was a press release today, not Halloween, a few days before Halloween, sorry, that the county sheriff in New Mexico, I forget his name, they're conducting their investigation. Yeah. Apparently, not only is there gross neglect on everyone's part, the armorer's part, the actor's part, everyone, but they found not only blanks, but they call them dummy rounds or something, which is usually like wax or paper or something loaded into a real gun. So it gives the recoil effect.
Kick,
but also real rounds. And they said that they found in apparently, according to medical personnel, that removed a lead particle from so it's safe to assume for the time anyway, that the gun was loaded with a real round, with a lead round, and Alec Baldwin fired it.
And there's so I have seen a lot of people try to defend him, and to a point I understand, but at the same time, like, to go off on not a soapbox, but my own shit for a second.
Yeah.
Because I commented on something online about this, someone defending it, and I was like, no, hold up. And I was like, so I would say I've worked as an actor, like I've been paid. any shoot I've been on, student film, independent film, Valkyrie, when we were background in Valkyrie, if you remember. Even if they're handing you a rubber gun.
Oh, yeah.
Even if they're handing you a rubber gun, the armorer says, follow the rules. You do not point this at anything that you're not willing to destroy.
Right. Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yep.
Do not point it at anything you're not willing to destroy. And 2, never put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to destroy it. And I think there's a third one, but those 2 are the big ones.
Yeah.
And that's when they're handing you a fake gun.
We were handed big fake rubber rifles.
But so even when you're being handed a rubber gun that literally cannot fire, that you just have to hit someone with it and it might hurt because it's rubber.
Yeah.
They still tell you that. Right. Even I remember in college, I was an extra on some film where they handed me something that wasn't even a fake gun. It just was like the object that looked like a gun. Like it wasn't a fake gun. It just looked like the shape of a gun. Just so in the background it looks like it was holding something. Even then, the armorer said, "Do not point that at someone."
Yeah.
So you have Alec Baldwin, who I don't know.
He's been around.
Like, this is his first movie. Yeah. No, like this motherfucker's been around since the 80s, and almost every movie he's in.
I think he was born before the 80s.
Maybe. I mean, in his career.
Dumb joke. I'm sorry.
But his career since the 80s, and I want to say, throwing out fake statistics, 90% of the movies he's done, he's had a gun in his hand.
I mean, yeah.
TV aside.
Yeah. Lately he's done like more romantic comedies and stuff. But no, he's been action movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking the most famous one, Hunt for Red October. He's got a gun running around a submarine shooting it. Sean Connery's character tells him, be careful where you point this gun.
Yes. It all comes around. It all comes around.
Irony.
No, and so when I heard the story right away, not even knowing the details, I was like, the armorer is obviously to blame because he handed him a live gun.
Yes.
But also, you don't point it. Even, I get it, he was pointing because he's supposed to point at the camera.
Right. You
still, even with that, you don't point it at anyone.
Right.
You work the angle. You set it up to where you're not actually pointing at someone. Even if you're firing a blank or not, you never pointed at anything.
Yeah.
And so then I guess even Alec Baldwin is a producer on the movie.
Yeah.
So you're
kind of
you're the top guy there.
Yeah.
Like you should be held accountable.
Yeah. I will defend the amount of flack he's getting, like especially because a lot of the conservative pages I follow remember him as being a very outspoken anti-gun person during the school shootings and stuff like that. And they're trying to flip it around like, oh, look at the irony. And I'm like, okay, granted it is ironic. I wouldn't get on his case that much about it because obviously he's not on top of the world right now. He must be crushed.
And you know what? And to be fair, I'm kind of rough on him too, but you're right. He wasn't out there trying to shoot someone.
Exactly.
So I understand. I get that.
If he were in road rage, pulled out a gun, and shot someone, then yeah, let's crucify him. But no, okay, granted, accident. No one wanted this to happen. I said that. Now let's get on to what the hell happened. Because apparently the gun was passed through 2 other assistant director. It was the armor, the assistant director. Both of them checked it. They said cold gun.
I heard that someone did say this is a cold gun.
Yeah, and handed it to Alec, who didn't check it.
Yeah.
I mean, again, so it goes back to, okay, granted it was an accident, but this is an easily avoidable accident. Alec Baldwin, you got to check your gun. You check your props. Do you ever check your props? I mean, it's kind of...
Yes.
It's a thing, and especially on an important thing. So there's really no excuse. I mean, I won't support the amount of hate being spewed at Alec.
I would say the hate is unwarranted. The criticism is not.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, and even to defend him a little bit on top of what you said, because you're right, but even then, I've been in things, live theater too, where someone loads it and says, here. And my job is to simply shoot.
Right.
I'm not supposed to touch anything else.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I can kind of defend Alec Baldwin to where he was the actor and they said, here is your weapon.
Yeah.
All you do is pull the trigger.
Right.
I can kind of get it. But at the same time, arguing with myself, he's not just the actor. He's also a producer.
Yeah. And he's been around a while. Yeah. I mean, it's
to make a comparison, when I was still bartending actively, it'd be ludicrous and absolutely stupid to me if someone's like, hey man, can you get your shit together? Like the bathroom's clogged and this and that. And I'm like, hey man, I'm just a bartender here. Like, no, it's my family's place. I'm clearly in charge.
I have stuff at stake here. Yeah.
Like even the other day, I was just in there helping, like bar backing, kind of making server tickets.
Yeah.
And I kind of made a joke to a regular. He's like, hey Mike, like you get me a beer? I was like, I'm just bar backing today. Even though like, I'm a fucking owner manager. But like, I made a joke like, no, I'm just a bar back.
Yeah.
Like in this case, Alec Baldwin can't say like I was just an actor doing his job.
I was just an actor.
Like no, you're
yeah.
So no, it's like you said, it's sad.
So now all the rage is, what could be done to prevent this ever happening again? Because this never happens. So obviously, I mean, for an actor to shoot and kill someone on set, last time it happened, I think famously was The Crow.
Yeah.
It's never happened. Statistically, it does not happen.
No.
It's so low, it doesn't happen. I mean, but it doesn't matter if it made the headlines. Everyone's raving about how do we prevent this happening. So now they're trying to outlaw real guns on movie sets. I'm of the opinion, I'm like, well, actors have proven themselves to be irresponsible, dangerous, and immature and shouldn't be trusted with a gun. So,
or at least have an adult nearby, I guess. But no, it just to me, it's like, what can we do to prevent this? And I'm like, just follow the fucking procedure.
Everyone who owns a gun knows it, and it bugs me.
If you make a cake and you leave the sugar out and it doesn't taste good, you're like, what can we do next time?
Yeah.
Follow the recipe.
Yeah.
How do you?
No, there's already like bills apparently about outlawing guns in movies, and I'm like, that's great. California is going to pass this law that will outlaw real guns from movies.
Half of Hollywood's already moving to Atlanta.
I'm just saying, like, the film was filmed in New Mexico, wouldn't have mattered.
No, I think it's awful right now. I personally think that given the way our country works, give it 2 weeks, something else will happen. Everyone will forget this ever happened.
I mean, yeah, more people died in gunshots in LA today than
in the time we've been talking.
Yeah, so it's really, this is what we want to. So there is that element too of like, is this really worth all the attention it's getting? Of course, it's
because it's Alec Baldwin,
yeah, and it's a Western and it's guns. It's all the rage. I'm surprised Biden hasn't come out and made a statement yet.
I don't think he knows yet.
That'll be fun. We'll want to record that when if it happens, but. Yeah, so sad story. I mean, cinematographer decided to stand in front of a gun and got shot. Alec Baldwin didn't check his gun and got, shot someone.
And you touched on it a moment ago. You do have to feel for him. If hypothetically, if we were filming something and I shot you or Eddie or if I killed someone, I'd feel like a fucking prick.
Right.
I'd feel like an asshole.
Yeah. And what's cool is, I mean, other than the real psychos out there, no one in the media or anything is really like, well, Alec Baldwin, how the hell? I mean, the press conference I heard today was saying like, is Alec Baldwin going to be charged? And the sheriff was like, well, it depends on the investigation. If it shows,
and you know what? Sorry, go on.
No.
I was going to say to piggyback on that. I think I read that Alec Baldwin was already talking to her husband, and reaching out to him and talking to him. So I don't think. Even if they wanted to go after him, I could see like if it's like the accidental, like the manslaughter. Mm-hmm. But I have a feeling that like the husband would be like, what good would that do?
Right.
And because I think the husband knows him, and they probably like he won't press charges. I don't think.
We'll see. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And what is cool too, I'm hearing about is that everyone on set is like giving statements. Everyone's complying. No one wanted this to happen, and everyone's trying to figure it out. So, from political standpoint, should they put laws in effect or whatever? I'm like, I see no problem with that. Sure, go ahead. I mean, waste all the money you want trying to put in a law that wasn't going to make any change anyway.
If they do, fine. I think they'll argue about it and pretend like they care and it'll move on. The one thing I've kind of been meandering in my mind is what happens to the film. Do they finish it?
Right.
Because like, for instance, when Paul Walker died, like it wasn't like he was killed. It was an accident. You know what I mean? Like he crashed a car, whatever.
Oh shit, yeah.
But like, so everyone was like, okay, we have to finish it for him. Mm. But like the cinematographer got shot on set. It's funny, but it's not like I would feel guilty going back to set. And then imagine if you're the new cinematographer.
Yeah. And what do you do? Like, did they finish that scene? Do they go back? Like, okay, back to one. Oh my god.
Alec, make sure you know you're blocking this time.
Is it loaded? This is a cold gun. Is it? Okay, that run that joke into the.
You know what I mean? A little bit. How does that? Because I think with like Fast and the Furious, it was more like we have to finish it for Paul.
Right.
Or now it's like we have to finish it for like that. It's uncomfortable.
There is an interesting comparison too, because Paul Walker died in a car crash from reckless driving
in a Fast and
Furious during the film, not at.
During the filming.
Not during the film. He wasn't filming. It was during filming. He was off doing some other shit and died in a car crash.
And a Western.
And so it's kind of like, do we finish this movie about reckless driving to remember Paul Walker who died during reckless driving? Same kind of things. Like, do we finish the shooting Western movie? Because
it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
If I was Alec Baldwin, I would just say, hey guys, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
Shut it down. Done. Alec will probably take a few years off.
If I was Alec, I would throw money into making the same script with a whole new crew, whole new set of actors, so that it's not him anymore.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like kind of hand it off.
Yeah, like whatever they already shot, just scrap.
Use the proceeds to go to stopping gun violence.
Sure. From a Western.
Alec, hire us. We'll be your...
I'll take your part.
Your PR. Yeah.
I'll act in your part.
I'll be the armor.
Yeah, I will be the armor. Anyway, speaking of
topical.
cowboys, Halloween. Today's
Halloween. Yeah, it's good fun time. Yeah. You know what? Just to kick it right off, I have a pet peeve about Halloween. It's not about the holiday itself. It's about the people, and it's always the case. You always have a pet peeve with people.
Yeah.
My parents still do this thing every year. They do. They put the bonfire out in the driveway, and they hand out candy to the kids. And my mom will make a big pot of chili, so friends will come over. We'll sit and hang out and watch. Watch the kids come, give them candy, and sit around the bonfire. It's a great neighborhood.
Okay, yeah, I've seen some people do that. Yeah.
A few years ago, fun story. The Dodgers Game 4 of the World Series or something like that was on Halloween. Mm-hmm. My family, I was still living at home at the time. We moved the couches to the driveway, TV out to the driveway, and just for flair, I put the rug and the little lamp up. We moved our living room to the driveway and watched the Dodgers game.
That's kind of cool.
All the angry dads and moms that wanted to be watching Dodgers but had to take their kids trick or treating
stopped,
yeah. And we're like, where are we at? Oh, okay, and it was a great time. But one of my biggest pet peeves, it's not even a pet peeve. This goes into this shakes me to my core here, is parents that take their kids to other neighborhoods and trick or treat there and then take them back home.
Like they drive?
Yeah. Yeah. They load the kids up into the car. They drive to a quote unquote nicer neighborhood and park in the neighborhood and then take their kids around.
So do you mean like they're leaving their neighborhood for a nicer neighborhood?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? So my initial reaction was to get a little defensive, only because do you remember the house I grew up in? Mm-hmm. Like that was on a random main street with like 5 houses next to it, and that was it.
Yeah.
So we would drive to a friend's house
where there's more houses.
Yeah.
Okay.
And trick or treat, because if we did our neighborhood, it would be 5 houses and we were done.
Right. Okay.
So we would. That's at first I was like, okay, wait. But you're talking about like if you just live in a neighborhood, and you go somewhere else,
right?
I mean,
it's just, and it's not.
Is it like more of like a turf kind of thing? Like
it's not really just like. It's kind of a turf, not really a turf thing. It's more like, because this happened 2 years ago when I was at my old apartment. I used to live down in Ontario, apartment down in Ontario. I remember. And I don't have kids, but I went to my parents' house and hung out with them on Halloween. Didn't want to stay I didn't want to hand out candy or anything like that, because it was an apartment. And I went to my parents' house, ate chili, handed out kids. It was a good time. I think I went as a Mormon that year. I can't remember, but anyway.
Sure.
But I recognized one of my neighbors.
In Ontario?
In Ontario.
I know where your parents live.
In Rancho, where my parents live. And he even like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's my parents' house. He's like, oh, wow, okay, my cousin lives up the street, and, we came here, and he's taking his kids around. So the neighborhood I moved from, I was at in Ontario, was a full-on neighborhood. Like houses, apartments. It was a full, residential neighborhood. It was just a not as nice neighborhood. It was a bit ghetto.
You're mad at the class warfare going on.
Pretty much.
Stay in your neighborhood.
Pretty much. It's like, I came from a point of like, look, if you should be making your neighborhood better. You should be focusing on your neighborhood, not coming up and taking all our candy.
This is getting really uncomfortable, isn't it?
No, it was like a bummer.
It's something against their neighborhood. I think they should stay there.
It was a shitty neighborhood, and I was like, yeah. Anyway,
could you make the argument that maybe he wanted his kids to experience a better experience? Maybe instead of having someone getting Smarties and taking apart each Smartie out of it, to a single serve Smartie,
right?
They wanted to get the full
so
pack.
It was one person that I recognized and saw, and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, our neighborhood's kind of crappy. I get it.
And you said his cousin lived in there,
right? So it's like, okay, but later on in the night, when you start noticing a quiet, because you've been to my parents' house, a quiet neighborhood street suddenly packed full of cars, in the street, and the sidewalks full of people walking around that don't live there. It's kind of like, well, that's more what I'm talking about.
I wouldn't say it shakes me to my core, but I would be irritated by that. Granted, because of COVID last year when we moved into the house, literally that was our last day in our old place.
Yeah.
So that whole day I was spent just going back and forth, fixing up our old place, make sure we're getting most of our deposit back. And I'm not sure if we really got that many trick-or-treaters. I don't, because we live like kind of on a slant, so I'm not sure if we would get that much, but
walk all the way up here for a cul-de-sac candy and, you know, come
yeah,
back.
it'd be fucking exhausting. Kind of to sell. No, but I can see why that's irritating, especially if forget for like the whole like you're coming to my neighborhood, but like traffic wise, like oh you're taking up all the fucking parking spots.
Yeah, that's really. I mean,
I can see the logistics of it.
Yeah.
At the same time, like as a kid, I wouldn't lie if my folks were like, "Hey man, we're gonna go cruise over to the rich neighborhood." I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it wasn't that really bugged me because I did that as a kid. But it was more just like, okay, the street's packed. We're, you know.
No, I understand that part of it. It's more of an annoyance.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, it doesn't ruin your day, but it's like, okay, like, who are you?
Yeah, it's kind of a petty annoyance.
Because even, no, and to take it to a deeper level, to recover from the border crisis you created.
Yeah.
It's almost, because trick-or-treating is kind of like a neighborhood thing.
We were checking addresses, too. Is that bad? Like of the parent? Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Where do you live? On the street? Where?
Oh, really? Oh, you know, because I know those people.
Yeah. Oh, so you're related to Carol?
Karen.
But no, but I do think because it is kind of like a neighborhood thing. To where I remember growing up, because we would literally just go to the neighborhood behind us, that big Victoria area.
Yeah, yeah.
We would just go there all the time. But like there was like every year, it's like, okay, that house has like a big haunted house. That house.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of like a neighborhood thing. Like, you know, people like they might recognize you as a kid. So there is kind of that whole thing. If like some random group of families come to your neighborhood and you're like, who the fuck are you? Like, it's not that you're not welcome. It's kind of like, who are you?
This is our community, and you know. Yeah.
And I've experienced this too. If you're at a party and you know everyone and you have friends there, and
yeah,
and then like 3 or 4 people, random people, walk in and no one knows them. It's like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
In high school, a fight started like that one time. That's a whole other story. Whole another story. A good story.
Whole other.
A whole different story.
A whole other.
But it's like that because just like people walked in the party, everyone was like, "Who the fuck are these people?"
Yeah,
and it was uncomfortable.
You know what else pisses me off about Halloween? Older kids trick or treating.
There should be a cutoff.
Yeah, my mom. This is an awesome story. If you know everyone listening who's bugged by older kids trick or treating, we'd be outside on the driveway. There's rocks. On the gravel or whatever. My mom would have a pocket full of rocks, and when older kids, like obviously like some older kids in a t-shirt put on a ski mask and he's going around asking for candy, my mom would walk up and quote unquote grab a piece of candy and drop a rock into his bag so it looked like, you know, she was giving a candy. It was awesome.
When you started saying rocks, in my mind I imagined your mom throwing rocks at them. You
know, I wouldn't blame you for assuming that.
I don't know why. So the way I look at it, and I just thought of this right now, I think if you, in this, I'm not putting a number on it, but if you in your head as a kid are old enough to tongue kiss your girlfriend or boyfriend, you are not trick-or-treating anymore. You
give up trick-or-treating and you get French kissing.
You understand
the trade-off.
Just mentally, like if you're a sophomore in high school and you've never tongue kissed a woman, or I guess not a woman, a girl, or
anyone,
yeah. And you're still trick or treating, I'd be like, okay,
yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
But if you're 12, I think 12's like 6th grade, 6th or 7th grade, I think it's around that. I think 13 and 14 is around 8. If you're in middle school, if you're in 6th or 7th grade,
right,
and you've gone full makeout,
you're done trick.
You're done trick or treating.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I'm more comfortable giving the sophomore who's never kissed anything.
Yeah, I think I was
candy.
I can't remember if it was 8th grade or 9th grade. Yeah, I can't remember if I was still in junior high or a freshman in high school. My friends and I did one last trick or treat, and it was awkward like the whole night because every house we went to is like, oh, aren't you guys kind of old? And we felt, and it wasn't even like we were trying to hustle. We just like really didn't even think about it. And so by the 3rd or 4th, aren't you guys a little old? We were just so bummed out.
Like,
we were just embarrassed. Like, oh man, we didn't even think about it.
Because you're right. Because even now, granted, like I used to go to raves when I was like 19, 20, 21. And some of those guys I'm so good friends with. And recently we chatted about like, we should go back to a rave. That would be so fun. And he's like, dude, we're 34. And granted, if those of you at home have been to a rave, like it's actually a very welcoming community,
sure,
regardless of age. But still, we're just like, but like, we have careers now. There's home ownership. We have like we're sore. Like, do we feel like we should? And that's where the mental thing comes from. If you've tongue kissed someone, like, because I feel like if you're a sophomore or junior in high school who hasn't tongue kissed someone,
right,
you would go door to door like, yeah, trick or treat, and the person would be like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
because the spirit's there.
Yeah,
the child innocence is still there.
That's another thing too. Like sometimes the parents would get like parents would get in it with their kids. You know, they would be dressed up too. You know, like the Flintstones. Like the whole family would do the Flintstones, and it'd be like, okay, parents, you want some candy too? You know, that's pretty sweet. You know, or whatever. So if I saw a couple of teenagers walking down the street, but decked out in like flawless Beavis and Butthead or something like that, you know,
earned.
Awesome. There you go.
Earned.
Yeah, there you go. You know, but yeah.
I thought with that when you were going to say, like, if the parents are with the teenagers, if you would just double down and be like, fuck all of you.
Start throwing rocks. Then I'd start throwing rocks, yeah. Any Halloween pet peeves? You work at a bar. How's a bar scene during Halloween?
What? It's really, with us anyway, it's always been hit or miss. Because Halloween really is, in my opinion, I call it like a home holiday. People are having parties. People are doing stuff.
Okay, yeah.
But then there's some years where we've been fucking packed.
Wow, okay.
But it's just really hit or miss. You never know.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I don't know. Like my bar aside, my opinions on Halloween kind of vary. Like this year has been kind of weird because I've never normally, like, you know, when Christmas comes around, you feel Christmas, Thanksgiving, all that stuff. This year I haven't really felt the Halloween.
No.
Even last year during moving and everything, I kind of like, it's Halloween.
Well, last year during COVID too, that was a big part of it.
Well, of course, but I still felt like, oh, it's Halloween time. And even like, you know, my girl put up like minimal decorations, but there's like a fucking pumpkin and shit at the bar. There's decorations, but I'm still just kind of like, huh.
Yeah.
Like, even I bought part of a costume that I was gonna go as, like, months ago. I bought it, and then I was like, oh fuck, like, it's the month's almost over and I have no fucking plans on wearing it. You know what I mean? Like, I bought this shirt for nothing.
Yeah, no parties, no. Yeah.
Just,
are you working on Halloween?
Today? You mean today?
Are you working today? Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. Sure.
I might have worked today. I might have worked today.
I might have worked today.
I might have worked today.
We just wasted.
But yesterday, Saturday,
the
30th, me and my lady, and then Danny and his lady went to a haunted soiree.
Did you?
Yeah.
We went. Sure?
The year before COVID, we went. We bought tickets and went. We dressed nice, and you go to this house somewhere in LA. They give you the day of, the address, and there's, each ticket comes with like 4 or 5 drinks.
Nice.
And you just walk around this house, and they have different activities to do.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So this year, I'm not going to go into details because I don't want to. I want you to go next year and experience it. So I'm not going to tell you all the cool details.
Cool, yeah.
But it was really fun.
Is it one of those like weird, wear a bird mask and say Fidelio to get in kind of thing?
No, not like that.
Oh, never mind.
But like, I think like when we went a couple years ago, because this time, like I said, I'm not going to talk about this time yet because I just don't want to spoil anything.
I'm so confused.
But when we went a few years ago, like, a lot of people just dress nice. Like, it's supposed to be like a soiree, like a nice party, but it's like a haunted house.
Okay.
But
nice.
So there's that. But like, outside of that, yeah.
Nothing.
No parties, no costume wearing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be today. So what? Yesterday and the day before, last night and the night before, I'm planning to. I'm gonna be. Okay, damn it. Okay, we recorded this a few days ago. We know it's releasing on Halloween, but no, I'm planning on going camping this weekend, and I'm driving.
So you've got to get back from camping today.
Yeah, so I'm driving back today. So I don't know how festive I'm going to be feeling when I get back from a 5-hour trip.
And not to mention, even if you took a costume with you camping,
yeah,
you'd be fucking creepy as shit. Some other campers walking through the forest and they see you in a fucking cowboy outfit.
That's what I would do. No, I'm like, or just Jason, like flawless Jason.
Well, that'd be worse,
like, costume in the middle of a.
You're just like, excuse me.
Like, hey, need a ride. Yeah, but Halloween, yeah. I grew up in a house where my dad didn't really care, but my mom really cared. So basically, they both cared.
Yeah, they compromised.
Yeah, mom hated Halloween. She let us like trick or treat. Like begrudgingly, like at every house, she made it very known that she just hated Halloween, and
like, give them the candy, let's go.
Let's go. All right, we're done. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't that much of a bummer, but she just really didn't like it, and we weren't allowed to do like scary costumes. We could do cool, Christian costumes, I guess you'd say. I was like, a ninja or a pirate or something, but we weren't allowed to go
The
as
happy costumes.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to go as Scream or the
or a vampire or
none of that shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because my mom growing up in an even more religious house than I did, that was like, it was Satan's holiday. So, we didn't decorate. We did jack-o'-lanterns and, we did trick-or-treating.
You did the fun, innocent stuff.
Right,
not
the basic stuff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was older, I was like, Mom, the community can take Halloween back. I mean, our church even does a huge, like, trunk or treat.
The trunk or treat,
yeah. And it's like it was a great way to turn something into a good thing. Mm-hmm. But she still just does not like it. She begrudgingly does bonfires on the driveway.
Sure. I 100% support the idea that women should dress slutty.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
not the guys or what? What is
no? That's just
okay. That's just weird.
It's a Christian household. Just the women. Just the women. Just the women.
Yeah. Was it pretty? Were your parents into it growing up, or?
I want to say so. My dad was very much an indifferent father in general, where he was like, okay, like my mom. I think my mom was always very much like, let's just do things, and I think it was kind of the same. Where like we never really had the weird, crazy costumes. It was always like you said, like a ninja or nothing super creative.
Disney costumes.
Yeah,
not specifically Disney, but Disney approved costumes is what I would say.
Sure, but. Like she was never like over the top with it. Our decorations would be minimal. Like I said, we lived kind of like on a major street with like a lot of traffic, so we didn't really do much to us. But we would go in the neighborhood, and it was fine. Like,
nice.
But yeah, I think as I grew older, it's still a fun holiday. I'm not against it. I just kind of don't care.
Yeah, me neither.
Like I think it's one of those things. If I had something to care about, like if someone texts me tonight, or if someone texted me earlier this week.
Yeah. And
said there's a party tonight. But that's the thing, like this like I said earlier this year though, like no one I know has really had a party.
Yeah.
No one's like doing anything. No one's like, hey, let's go out on Friday or Saturday. Like so to me it's just kind of been nothing. There's no spirit. It's just even one of our bartenders said like, oh yeah, I'm gonna dress up as this on Sunday, and I was like, oh why? And she was like, it's Halloween. And I was like, oh fuck. That's right. Okay. Yeah. I just wasn't. I don't know. I just didn't feel it this year.
Yeah, it was the same when I was planning this trip up because it started this weekend going up to the mountains. I had work that needed to be done, so I was like, well, why don't I go up on Friday and Friday night and Saturday night? Why don't I camp? It's everything's closing down for the winter. It might be the last time I get a chance to camp for a few months. Why don't I just go ahead and do that? I'll come back Sunday. And then, I'm telling my wife about it and she's like, oh yeah, the 31st. I was like, oh shit, that's Halloween. Yeah. Same kind of thing. Like I'll be in the mountains and then coming back. How crazy. Yeah. I don't care, but
yeah, just whatever. Like, whatever.
Yeah. And she's the same. Doesn't really, like, yeah, Halloween.
I think mine, I think it's almost similar to like she's very much one of those people like, yeah, like this holiday's coming up. Let's do something like this. Like, let's do something.
I want to be into it.
Yeah. But I think this year, just because like our workloads of her at work has been crazy, especially like me at work's been crazy. And I think both of us are just tired. Yeah. So we're like, she put up some decorations, but outside of that, she's like, I don't give a fuck. And so we did the soiree thing we did a few years ago and it was fun. So we're like, let's do that again now that they're doing it again.
Cool. Yeah.
But yeah, just whatever.
Just this year is just whatever, I think. Yeah, same with us. I mean, I went to England a couple weeks ago. I don't know if I told you.
Did you go to England?
I did. It was pretty cool. But we just went to England. We're going to North Carolina next weekend. We going to Washington in January. We have like shit that we're doing.
So it's like, I don't give
Halloween's
a fuck.
Like, we don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about Halloween.
And she just started working again this week, and she's like, so she's coming back and it's like her first weekend, back from work. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah. What we do tonight, I guess.
Sure.
If we're going out
tonight when you get home,
we might go to the parents tonight.
All right. Yeah. But so any memorable costumes?
Yeah, actually, that Mormon costume I told you about. That was one. It was the year that Book of Mormon came out.
I think I saw a picture of you in that.
And we went to another bar, not your bar. It was the mafia themed bar.
The mafia themed bar.
And tooting my own horn, I was the belle of the ball. Like walking into a bar.
Did you hold the book?
I had the bike helmet. I think I can't remember if I had a Bible or not, but I had the name tag. It was everything. It was great. And everyone, like, it was awesome too. By the end of the night, everyone's like coming up to me and everyone's pissed. And they're like, Are you really Mormon, or is this a costume?
I love that. And then as you drink your beer, yeah.
I'm standing there with the beer in a bar on Halloween. Like, no, I'm really Mormon.
Devout.
That's why I'm here. You're all targets. But what about you?
So I don't think it was the most clever one, but I think it was actually a party you had when you had lived the apartment in Rancho. Where I just put a suit on, no tie.
We still talk about this.
This is when I didn't have gray hair.
Yeah.
So I just did the grays that are now there on the side.
You just left them there.
But then I remember, because I think I told you this, as I was leaving to go to your place, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I just look like I'm wearing a fucking suit. Huh. I look like I just made myself an old guy in a suit.
Yeah.
So that's why I stopped at the store and got the case of Dos Equis.
Yeah.
And it was the most interesting man in the world.
You walked in, everyone knew exactly what you were.
But I think if it wasn't for the Dos Equis, they would just be like, what the fuck is Mike?
Absolutely.
So holding the Dos Equis, they're like, Was that
the year Danny came?
Yes.
He was Deadpool, and not everyone knew that right away.
No.
No. He came head to toe full, like, suit out Deadpool. And this was years before Deadpool was even announced.
No, he's always been the Deadpool guy.
So everyone was, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then I do remember I went to a party once, and it was a bomb. The costume bombed. Pretty much
like, I was... good or bad?
Like, bad.
The bomb or
it
bombed?
Bombed.
Okay.
Because so, do you remember, you might have been there, there's a year that I went as Joker. And I'm not saying, I'm not sure if you're there, I'm not saying I did the best makeup, but I was irritated because for many years, everyone, like at least 7 people I knew did the Dark Knight Heath Ledger Joker. And even The Office did that joke about it where everyone was doing it.
up till 4.
Yeah, and so I was getting fucking sick of it. And so I was like, okay, this year I'm just doing classic Joker.
Okay.
So I didn't really go off at Jack Nicholson. I just did just Joker, not Heath Ledger. And my makeup was all right. It wasn't great.
Purple suit then?
I think I found purple slacks, and then I think because I was piecing it together at the Goodwill, you know.
Yeah.
And I think I found an orange shirt, if I recall, and then a purple tie. It was pieced together. I think it was purple slacks, purple suspenders, tie,
nice,
orange shirt.
Okay. So we get the gist.
And then with the makeup, you get it. And I did green hair, and it was cool or whatever. And then, so anyway, but the point was, everyone's doing the Heath Ledger one. I want to do this one. Oh no! So with the pirate, I was doing it as a pirate. I was sick and tired of hey, the girls, we're sexy pirates. Again, I support the sexy pirate, but everyone's doing that. The guys would put together the shitty pirate costumes that they bought at Toys R Us or Hardy City, and I was like, no one's going as a real fucking pirate. So I did a little research online.
Did you dress as a Somali pirate?
No, I should have.
I should have.
No,
with the makeup and
well, no. So I just went I actually looked like what pirates looked like.
Okay.
And so I put this costume together. I had this big trench coat, just tattered clothes, a fucking hat that looked good, not like a crazy pirate hat. And I showed up. It was kind of almost like a do-rag beanie thing because that's what they wore. And I showed up, and everyone's like, "What the fuck are you supposed to be?" And I was like, "Guess." And they're like, "Are you homeless?"
Oh no.
And I was like, "Kinda." and then someone's like, "Are you supposed to be a rapist?" And I was like, "Well, kinda."
We pillage and plunge, man.
And so every time I was like, I'm a pirate. And they're like, what? Like, is this a character from Pirates of the Caribbean? And I was like, no, it's just a fucking pirate. It's a realistic pirate. And they're like, you look like a fucking creep. And I was like, well, yeah. These weren't friendly people. It just bombed. No one fucking, everyone, like I said, homeless, rapist, creep.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
And I had to wear it all night.
That year that you described, most interesting man in the world, that party we hosted, it was me and my roommate Josh. We went as the Dick in the Box guys.
I remember that. I think, yeah,
that one killed.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
There was one costume that I regret it and I don't regret it because it killed, and it killed across the board, but for 2 different reasons.
Lincoln?
Yes.
Yeah.
For 2 different reasons. It killed Lincoln Osiris from Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder, Robert Downey Jr.'s famous character.
If you don't know, the character, this is my defense to the blackface.
No, I think it was hilarious.
The character is a white man.
Yep.
Is a white man. That's my defense.
Yeah.
Granted, the character is in blackface, but
he gets skin altering surgery. He gets pigment. Okay, now we get into a discussion of what blackface is okay.
Yes. So actually, A few years ago in the Jack of All Nerds, this
God.
came up. I did their Halloween special, and we
Yeah.
actually they had photos flashing on. I'm not doing it.
Oh no.
We're not doing it on this one.
No.
But
Canceled.
yeah. But so it's out there. If I ever get famous,
Yeah.
I'll
you're
eventually
done,
get.
pretty much. Yeah.
But no, that's my defense. It was a white character. Anyway, I did it. So I remember I did it at a college party in Vegas. And obviously everyone there was like, fuck yeah. Like, yeah,
Awesome.
you're fucking Lincoln Osiris. Everyone got it. I came to California the next weekend to do it here. I even went to my own bar, like not telling anyone I was showing up.
Okay.
And there was if there's 100 people in the room, maybe 15 of them were just like, Lincoln Osiris, it's hilarious. The rest of them were just like, ha. You know what I mean? Like it killed,
Yeah.
but not comfortably.
Yeah. Like.
Like they just thought I was just being an asshole dressed like a black guy in a army costume.
Yeah.
So that's where it got uncomfortable, where like people thought I was just being racist.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to be funny.
It was pretty fun. I thought it was hilarious.
No, the people who understood
Yeah.
laughed their asses off.
Right.
But a bunch of white people who didn't understand, and they just thought I was being a fucking asshole.
Oh, blackface, edgy.
Like,
It's funny.
that's hilarious. I think one guy was like, because it was at my bar, like, huh, your people aren't allowed in here, huh? And I was like,
Whoa.
this is
Whoa,
uncomfortable.
made it weird.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But it was good. I actually did a good job.
That
When I walked in the bar, the security guard did not recognize me.
ooh.
I didn't say a word, but he did ask for my ID.
Whoa.
And that was really funny.
That's pretty sweet.
Because then he looked, he was,
So your boss. Oh, you're his
yeah,
boss.
so he was he just kind of, he was like,
Hang on.
like that. He was just like, for fuck's
Damn it,
sake.
you got me.
He's like, for fuck's
Okay,
sake. And he's like,
yeah.
get the fuck on.
He knew in that moment we're never going to stop talking about that.
Yeah.
No, one year, that year, I have some clever friends with their costumes. One time, my friend Ryan we went out and he showed up. It was Halloween. Let's go to a bar. That was the Mormon year. He showed up in a suit with a name tag that said,
I remember this.
said sorry. And I was like, what? He's like, I'm a formal apology.
I remember
And
that
so, you know, he got no numbers that night. But one Halloween, I was just lazy and I had this like ironic idea to just see how it would landed. Turns out it didn't, but I had this idea of it was Halloween. I needed a costume, so I went up the street to Halloween City or whatever the
Party City,
seasonal
yeah.
whatever. Got like a Batman costume made for 10-year-olds.
I remember seeing photos of this.
Squeezed my fat ass into that costume.
I remember seeing
and
photos of
sat
this.
out at the bonfire in this tiny ass costume, handing out candy. I had the mask and everything. It got a laugh out of like 2 people, and the rest of the night I was just cold and embarrassed.
Well, because I think if you would have went to a bar,
Yeah,
you would have killed.
But with a bunch of kids walking around,
They're like probably like,
yeah, know your audience, I guess.
yeah,
yeah. Well, you live and learn.
yeah,
That was probably my most embarrassing.
sure.
It wasn't even that. I was pretty proud of it. It wasn't because, granted, I was pretty drunk.
Yeah.
but
I went as Jake from State Farm.
awesome.
It cost nothing. I bought some khakis, a red polo, and you
Yeah.
could buy the Jake State Farm pin
Oh, amazing.
on Amazon.
Yeah,
Fucking easy.
brilliant.
Some people, I worked that night. Some people were just like, I don't get it. Like,
You don't watch
because they don't
TV?
watch TV.
It's fine,
Another time I went. It was an Audible. I forgot what I was going as, but I was trying to trim my beard and I just fucked it up. And I was like, the beard's not going to work. So I just shaved it all off and I went as Dwight because I had a yellow
Oh, nice.
shirt.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of people were like, oh, you're a nerd. I was like, well, yeah, but it's fucking Dwight.
Nerds.
And then,
Those nerds didn't get it.
yeah, the one year it was, at the time, I was fucking humiliated. But in retrospect, it was really fucking funny.
What?
So my girl was always like, why don't I go as Jessica Rabbit and you go as Roger? and like I said, in retrospect, I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? But at the time, it made sense. So I was like, okay. Because I had to work that night. And I was like, okay, you can come to the bar later. Cool. She's like, yeah. And so, you know, like she got a nice dress. Like she got all of her shit. And I was like, cool. She's going to look good either way. Like, even if mine's shit, like.
Support of the slutty
Yeah,
Halloween costume.
she's on par.
Got it.
So I was like, okay, I'll put my shit together. And so I couldn't find red overalls.
Just on par.
Yeah, she's on par with the game.
Gotcha. Okay.
Either way, I'm going home happy tonight. and so I was like, okay, Roger Rabbit. And I didn't want to fucking get like a big ass rabbit head. Like
Right.
I have to work. And so yeah, I was still bartending. It'd be a fucking mess. So I was looking for red overalls. And I couldn't fucking find anywhere. So I just got red slacks. So I forgot if I got them first because I had red slacks, but I looked for red slacks or red jeans, and I found them. Then I just went to Party City and got some like the straps. And I was like, okay, that'll work as overalls, fine. Just wear a white shirt, fine. And I was like, what can I okay, do I like buy ears? Like what the fuck do I do for? So in my head, I was like, how about this? I'll just grow my beard out a little bit, maybe hair a little bit, and just dye it white. That'll be my fur. I'll put some whatever. I show up, so I'm doing all this the day of, and I'm downstairs and my nephew's there. So I was still kind of living at home. I come downstairs and he looks at me and he's like, Santa!
Oh no!
And it just dawned on me, and I was like, because I just wasn't thinking of it. You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking.
Brilliant.
So I still had like a bow tie and some shitty ears. Like I couldn't find. It was last minute. I couldn't find big ears. And he said Santa, and I was like,
oh no,
fuck. And I'm supposed to be at work in 20 minutes. Like it's too late. It's done. You know what I mean? I was like, oh no. And I was like, well, I'm not putting any of this other shit on. I'm just gonna look fucking goofy. And so I went to work, and everyone's like, you're fucking Santa. And I was like, at first I fought it.
Yeah.
Because up to that moment, I was supposed to be Roger Rabbit. So at first I fought it. And I was like, no, I'm supposed to be Roger Rabbit. And they're like, you don't fucking look like Roger Rabbit. Like, everyone was just like, they're like, what?
Yeah.
How's this Roger Rabbit? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm supposed to be Roger Rabbit.
I don't know, man.
And so after, like, at first...
And it really worked with the fact that your girl wasn't behind the bar with you.
Yeah.
She's somewhere else.
She showed up, like, hours later.
You're just the lonely fucker behind the bar.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be Roger Rabbit.
Santa Claus's rapist cousin.
Yeah, it was fucking... No, I mean, in honesty, there's a photo of me somewhere. Because I remember the bartender that night, James, he took a photo of me. Because he was like... I had a little more weight on me at the time. So it worked.
Yeah.
Like if I walked... No, if I walked in and someone's like, you're Santa, I'm like, yeah, I'm Santa. There'd be no question.
Amazing.
I looked like Santa.
Yeah. They start the Christmas season earlier every year.
Yeah, and so it worked. If I would have been smart at the time and just said yes,
and just embraced it,
but because I was mad that it didn't work, so then later when she did come in, I was like, fine. I was like, she's like, hi, hi, my Roger Rabbit. And I was like, no, I'm Santa. You're Mrs. Santa. You're sexy Mrs. Santa.
Claus?
You're sexy Santa. You're sexy Mrs. Claus. You're not fucking Jessica Rabbit. Don't tell anyone that. You're sexy Mrs. Claus.
Then just go with it.
And she didn't understand at first, and I was like, fuck, look at me. No.
Well, yeah. I'm like, I think hearing you talk about making your costumes, I don't think I've ever bought, like, other than buying the 10-year-old Batman costume.
Well, yeah, and that's...
I've always made my own costumes.
I feel like they're better that way.
Yeah.
They come off better. Even if they don't land perfectly, at least it's solid.
My most embarrassing Halloween, I remembered, it was in 5th grade. I was in 5th grade when The Matrix came out. And
you went as Neo? I
went as Neo. But not only did no one get it, because we're all in fucking 5th grade, but it's a little personal for you. At the time, I had a bad eczema reaction on my feet. And needed, like, the doctor was saying, like, hey, you can't wear shoes. You have to wear sandals. So sandals aren't allowed at school. Well, here's your doctor's note. Wear fucking sandals. You can't wear, so.
So you were Neo in sandals?
I was Neo with black socks and my fucking sandals. It was amazing. There's pictures of it. All the pictures. I was, like, trying to get, like, okay, waist up. But I had the sunglasses. I looked like Neo, except for my little fucking Birkenstocks that I was wearing.
It would have been better. It would have been better if you didn't have socks on.
Yeah.
You were Neo with
my God.
with sandals.
It was like Neo Jesus and shit. It was so funny.
Great.
That was so funny. Looking back, I'm like, that was a great idea. Horrible execution.
Bad execution.
That would have been pretty good. But
I went as the Four Bush Man, which no one knew what the Four Bush Man was. It's an obscure character in Marvel.
Okay. Hipster.
Well, no. So someone once told me about him, saying like you should go to Halloween, or you said something about that. So I looked him up, and he's a fucking hilarious character.
Okay.
Pretty much Stan Lee based him off of, it's like there's like a line of like funny comics that technically exist within the universe, but no one really fucking reads them. Mm-hmm. And so he works for Marvel Comics, the comic book company in the universe, I guess.
Okay.
And I guess Stan Lee based it off of somebody he worked with at an office at one time that he just thought was a fucking idiot. And so like it's like he lives with his aunt who's Aunt Mayhem.
Oh dear.
And he wears a pant. It's a pot on his head.
Okay.
With holes in it. And I guess part of it was like she hit him over the head with a pot one time and gave him his superpowers.
Interesting.
and it's just he's just a funny character.
Is that where?
That's that one.
Yeah,
that's that one.
Oh, that one up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike has a little
few helmets hanging up.
Helmet in the office here, and
that's that one.
I always wondered what that was. Okay.
That someone made that for me. 'Cause I was actually gonna buy a pot.
Yeah.
And try to cut holes in it and put like foam in it so it's not fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then the guy that at the time told me about the Forbush man.
Yeah.
Told me like, no, because he was all about it. He's like, no, I'll make it for you. And then he made me that out of foam.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So I wanted to him, but nobody knew the fuck. It was just like a red. It was supposed to be a onesie, but I felt like a sweatshirt and the slacks.
Yeah.
The red slacks I already had. And which I just got like a custom made shirt with like a big F on it because that's what it is. And he's like, why didn't you wear a onesie? And I was like, I don't want to buy a onesie. Like, it's uncomfortable. But so, and everyone just thought like it was a funny thing. They're like, who the fuck are you? Fuck man? Like, what's F?
Fuck man.
So I was like, who the fuck are you? Like, but it was funny.
Yeah. That is rough when you make a costume and you're stoked on it and no one gets it.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
It's a little rough. I'm trying to think of any costumes I went. This year, I had because I think you were there, like for the I'm not sure if you were there actually. Oh, in our chat, the Guy Fieri shit.
Yeah.
Like, this used to be a fucking this used to be a naval base, but now we're making submarine sandwiches. Like, welcome to Triple D. Like,
yeah.
So like I was like, oh, what if I went as Guy Fieri? So actually, that's what we were talking about earlier. Yeah. I bought a shirt with the flames on it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I was thinking,
you're gonna white tip your hair?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna actually go and bleach it. I was actually gonna talk to my barber and be like, what could I do to make it look bleached, but I could wash it out
temporary.
Yeah. And then so I was gonna do that, and then
probably would get a wig. That'd probably be the best bet.
Maybe. Because then it is kind of the roots are still dark.
Yeah.
And then, so for the girl, she was like, well, what am I going to go if we go somewhere? Like, what am I going to be? And I was like, well, this is such a stupid joke. But if people knew Guy Fieri, I think they'd get it. I was like, we're just going to stick dollar bills all over you.
Oh, that's money.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
So someone's like, you're Guy Fieri. Yeah. What's she? Money.
That's money.
Okay. She doesn't really watch. Awesome. She doesn't really watch Guy Fieri. We watch Food Network, but she doesn't really watch him. So she didn't get it at first, and I explained it to her, and she kind of was like, "All right, that might work."
Funny. That'd be funny. Yeah, my girl and I want to go as Bob and Linda from Bob's Burgers.
Okay, I've seen that,
but reversed. Oh. I would be Linda. She'd be Bob.
Okay. I think a funny. I've never seen it done, but I've seen like memes about it. For a couple costumes is so fucked up. Someone, I'm just going to lead into it.
Bill Clinton in the dress?
That. I've actually seen that, I think.
Yeah.
Someone like just looking kind of dorky, glasses, maybe short, like cargo shorts or like slack shorts.
Okay.
Like a polo and then a bee. The woman dressed as a bee. My girl.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, that's good. That's yeah. That's
or maybe instead of wearing the glasses are like in his pockets.
Where's his glasses? He needs his glasses to see. Oh God.
So yeah, it's that and the bee.
That's funny. That's funny. It's not funny, but that's funny. Yeah. Yep. I was gonna go. We can, there's some great ones out there. You can go as Alec Baldwin in a gun. That'd be good.
Let's see if there's some last minutes.
Kobe Bryant in a helicopter.
Careful. We've talked about it before. Kobe's the trigger. Kobe's the trigger warning.
Paul Walker in a car. Yeah.
I guess if you go as a helicopter, you could just say, no, I'm a transformer.
No, it'd be like, oh no, run away from the helicopter.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
You don't make fun of Kobe.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
I wonder if there will be an Alec Baldwin costume. Because it's kind of at the buzzer.
Yeah. I saw, I think the most fucked up meme I've seen about it so far. I think I sent it to you. It was I shouldn't even say it, but it was it was a picture of the cinematographer that passed.
Yeah.
And she said, I got my Alec Baldwin shot. It was like in the vaccine.
Yeah.
That was.
There were a lot. I don't know what about to finish where we started.
Yeah.
I don't know what about this one. Like normally this kind of shit, like I'm really dark humored about. Something about this one bothered me.
I think we're just getting older.
No, like even like in this last year, COVID, all this sensitive shit happening, I've been all about it. But something about this one, I think I was mad. Like at the situation, like we talked about earlier, I'm like you fucking idiot. Like all of you are idiots. How did this happen? To where people are making jokes and then being kind of related to the industry. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fucking fuck these people. And then people are like making memes about it. I was like, no, like stop. This is bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because of the connection to the industry.
Sure.
I don't know what it was,
personal.
but something I was like, no.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I am like it, obviously, and I'm in the bar industry, so when people are critical of bartenders, I immediately I go to the defense of the bartender unless it's clearly. But so that's maybe why I don't know. Something about it just really bothered me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, granted, some of them I'm not completely subjective. Some of them were really funny. But it still bothered me.
If they're funny, they're funny. It doesn't mean it's not offensive.
I'm
offended.
It'll bother me, and I'll be mad about it. But I'm like, it's funny. That's good.
It's like, that's funny. I'm still offended.
There was one where somebody transposed his face on John Travolta from Pulp Fiction, looking in the backseat.
Oh, God.
Like
that's pretty funny.
That's clever.
That's
clever. It was clever.
It's clever.
It's hard to be mad at some. I was mad, but I was like, at least it's clever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of. I think we've talked about it off air, where it's like, I call it copy paste humor. Where you can put in anybody's name, and the joke works because it's just like,
sure, yeah.
Who's stupid? This person. You're stupid.
Yeah.
But when it's like specifically,
yeah.
like it works to that. That's when I'm like, okay, that's clever.
Why I think I laughed so hard and then cried about the got the shot one because
that's clever,
pretty topical,
and it makes sense to the situation. You couldn't just sub that in. You couldn't put Paul Walker into that.
You had to live here at this time, at this moment to get that.
Yeah, but you couldn't put Paul Walker in that.
No, it wouldn't work
because everyone would be like, what?
No. Yeah.
Anyway,
could put John Wilkes Booth maybe, but
maybe
that'd be kind of.
No, you'd have to put Lincoln.
Yeah, Lincoln got the John Wilkes.
Lincoln got the shot.
Yeah. Anyway.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.
We hope you had
a good one. I mean, if you're one of our diehard fans that listened to it today, God bless you. But if not, like, I hope you had a good Halloween a few days from now.
Because who knows what time we're talking about right now?
It's Halloween. Happy Halloween.
It's Halloween,
yeah.
So have a good one, guys. Thank you for joining us, and bye.
Signature sign off.
I think that's what I'm just saying. Bye.
You stay classy.
Louis C.K. Goodbye. All right.
Go fuck yourself up.